All right. It's been a while. Oh, honey. It's been such a long time. Seems like I get you off of my mind, but I can't. Wait a minute. Just the thought of you. My whole world turns misty blue. All right, let me see if I show up. There I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. I'm just singing up a storm today. Hello, this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. How you doing, huh? It's been a while. It's been such a long time. Hello, Mike. How you doing? Hello, official Jamia. I was watching you today. And Mike, I watched your wife feeding them squirrels. Oh, Lord. I don't like squirrels. So today's video is on checking your preps. And this is different because normally, I either go out to a farm, because that's what it is, a farm. I have sheep, goats, chickens. I'm going to move the turkeys out there, move the ducks out there. And I think that, and the rabbits. The rabbits are going to stay here, though. Hey. Oh, what is this? Sheila McCoy, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the channel. So today when I was going through and checking the things that I have prepared for bad weather, because hurricanes are getting ready, because they're coming, they're here. We just missed a couple of them. It's just a matter of time before we get affected by either the cold weather, hurricanes, storms come through. And, everybody always talks about get your preparations done, check your store your food and store your water and store your supplies. But no one ever talks about this. Can y'all hear that? This is a canning jar. I canned this. See how easily it opened? This is bad food. Had I eaten this, I'd be in the hospital. I canned my own stuff. Apparently this was beef. And it smells perfectly fine. But you see that this thing just opened with me taking my hand and popping it open. That's because there's a bad seal on this, or somehow this can unsealed itself. Botulism. You got to be very careful. Not only with the food that you can or someone cans for you. You check. Because if you hear that sound? That can of food is no good. So throw it out. Then I went through and I checked my water. So this is water that I bought from last year. And they're all sunken in. Look, they were not outside. They were in the house. See that? In the house, in a controlled environment. But if you don't drink this water, it should have an expiration date on it, but it doesn't. They say their expiration date on it, but I've never seen one on here. Maybe it's just my eyesight, because it could be on here, and I just don't see it. But look, I've not opened that water. See that? These bottles, especially if they're outside, degrade. And we're getting plastics from these water bottles. Years ago, you remember when spring water and spring water first came out, because this is just drinking water, purified drinking water. When spring water first came out, they were in glass bottles, and they were in glass bottles for reasons, because these plastic bottles, I'm just going to throw this. I'm going to throw this in the yard. I have a couple of cases of this, and they all are dented. If you get, and this one's not open. It evaporated. See that? Look. See that? That much water is missing. I'm not going to drink this. Not, especially since they were looking like this, all sunken in. If you see them in the stores like this, don't buy them. They've been around for a while. And they've probably been in the sun. And y'all know that plastic melts. So, yes, buy your water, store your water, but drink it. And don't be like me and have it sitting around for a year, because I'm not going to drink this. I'm afraid to. The bottle is degraded. The water is just fine. And perhaps if I put it in my Berkey, I have a Berkey water filtration system, and I have the other one at the other place is not Berkey, but filter this joker, because this is not normal. This is not how this bottle came. So first of all, me canning, right? I got to be careful with my cans. Make sure when you open your canned goods, and I'll get to the chat in just a moment, it's supposed to make a, you hear my tongue? It's supposed to sound like that when it opens. And if it doesn't do that, even if it smells good, throw it in the trash because you will be sorry. And food poisoning ain't great when you can't get to the hospital because usually you resort to this stuff when you can't go to the store or when bad weather has come in. Don't eat it. I don't care how hungry you are. Do not eat this stuff. And this, they're saying that they're finding plastics in people's brain right now. So once the bottle degrades, that's why they say you should drink it within a certain amount of time. Once these bottles degrade, don't. I wouldn't drink it. You know, especially when most of the water has evaporated and it's been in the house. It hasn't been sitting in the sun. So let me get to the chat. Shay Urban Edibles, how you doing? My Country Kick Homestead, how you doing? Sheila McCoy, how you doing? Miss Shirley OG Gardner, how you doing? Duval City Girl Garden, how you doing? Let's see. Did I miss anything? Shay's Urban Edibles, I think I said hi to you. So first things first. If you're a canner like me, that's the first check you do. See if that bubble is moving. And if your water is starting to evaporate in your plastic bottles like me, don't use it. So we went on from the water and the food. And there are a lot of things. I mean, if you have canned goods and you have a canned good, right? These cans, check your cans when you buy it because they, you know, the stores are not supposed to sell dented cans, but they do. And I've seen them put up dented, I guess it depends on the state, dented can sale. There are chemicals that are sprayed on the inside of this can, right? And when it's dented, guess what? The chemicals that are sealed can escape. It's a damaged product. So make sure you check your cans, especially when you go to the store, because there's going to be dented cans in there. And put those back and get a regular can. A regular can. Now, this one is, so it has a best by date on these cans, but I don't really pay attention to that. Go to the Department of Agriculture. The military used to use veterinarian services because we were getting expired stuff all the time. It was perfectly fine, but if it was dented, no. So I covered those. Now there might be other things that I don't know about, but this is the stuff that I know. I know about the dented cans. Don't do that. And canning your own food, like these are my turnips from 2024. I keep them around for a long time. But the can is not broken. The seal is not broken. Now, if and when I open this and it doesn't, after I, make sure that there's no clickety click like this one. When I open it, I'm gonna sniff it. By the way, women have better sense of smell most of the time, unless they're, a smoker, and that might affect it, or they have some kind of rhinopathy or any kind of nasal stuff. Normally, women, or females, because of the species and protection of the species, we can smell rotten food a lot better. I'm not a sexist. It's just like men have bigger hearts, our noses are more sensitive. Survival of the fittest. We would have passed away a long time if women had been feeding their children rotten meat. So always smell it and always check that clicker. Let's see if there's anybody else in here. Okay, so there's another thing that a lot of people are pushing. These. I use candles. I used to use them all the time until I had one. It wasn't in a bottle. It spilled over and all the wax went down the side of it onto the table. I could have burnt my house down. But I don't do it anymore. If you're using candles, you got to watch these jokers. If you're using kerosene lamps, you better watch those things because you could burn down your house with this stuff. The best thing, if you don't have light, and some people are saying, well, you can make heaters out of this stuff. I'm going to talk about heat and I'm going to talk about light in a minute. This is more dangerous. If you're going to use this, if you're going to use a lot of this stuff, get a fire extinguisher. Have a couple of them, depending on how big your house is. Have at least one, and make sure that it's not expired, because I had some. This one's about, I don't know, 6 months old. I had some in here, and if they're old, don't throw them out. It's having an old one is better than not having one at all, because we had a freeze here in the Austin area, and people's houses, it wasn't yeah, it was their house, burnt down, and it was candles that did it, and them trying to keep themselves warm and doing all kind of foolishness. Candles are very nice, but they are the last resort. So yes, I had candles here, but I don't leave them by themselves. It's like a baby. You don't leave them unattended for long, because these jokers are open flame, and this bottle is protecting us a little bit, but you never know. You might have bumped against some wall or some brick or something. There's a crack in the bottle. All the wax spills out and your house is on fire. Keep this? Yes, keep it. But don't forget to get a fire extinguisher, and never leave this unattended, especially if you have children. Children ain't like I'm Generation X. We were the latchkey kids. They were like, you mess with the candle, you gonna end up. They were not playing with us. They were like, you on your own. Actually, I don't remember us having any open flames in my house, with the exception of the gas stove. That was it. And then we used matches to light it back then. So maybe that was probably more dangerous than this. But watch these things, and don't leave them with your babies, because they'll start playing with them. Some kids are fire starters. That they get fascinated. I knew a little girl like that. It's usually little boys that say, but I knew a little girl who was fascinated with fire. Don't leave an open flame next to your kids. That's all I gotta say. Instead of this, so I'm gonna put everything that I talked about. Don't forget the fire extinguisher, because that is a safety mechanism. Instead of this, nowadays we have options, safer options. This, get it on Amazon, you get it at Costco, you get it at Sam's, probably could get it at Walmart. A flashlight for the outside, and this is a USB charge and a solar charge. There's a solar thing on top of it. They run around $20 to $30. You could charge it USB with the USB, or you just sit it in the sun, and this thing is bright. It's how I walk around my backyard when I'm looking for my dogs that sometimes don't want to listen to me. And it has different dims. You see that? I have two of them. You know what they say. One means none and two means one. So I have this. And when it runs out of power, I either charge it up with the USB port here, or I put it outside in the sun. It's solar. And then I have this. This is another thing. When I went to use this, because I use this all the time, this flashlight was super, this is one of them bright ones. This thing was super dull. Go ahead and check your batteries and take your batteries out and replace them, because the last thing you want to do is have a flashlight. This is checking your stores or your preparations. The last thing you want to do is have a flashlight and think that you're going to be able to walk around and check stuff and it not work because the batteries are dead. You don't have to use batteries in order for them to go bad. They corrode and do all kind of stuff. And this thing, I think it uses double A. I think it's about 4 or 6 AA batteries that are in it. So check your stuff, because I know we haven't done it. It's been warm. Some of y'all are already cold, but I'm in Texas. It's not cold here. Today is 90 degrees. At nighttime, it's getting a little chilly, which is why I'm going through and checking all of my stuff. And there's hurricanes that are passing through. So we got our light out of the way. Now, there's another thing that you can use that you don't have to really, it has a dual purpose. Those lights that you use for your pathway, at Dollar Tree, they were like $1.25. Now everything at Dollar Tree, most of the stuff without this, with the exception of food, is $1.50. It went up. I was like, what? All of the bugs in my family are boys. I have the LED lantern that are battery operated. Okay. I don't want any candles in my house. I don't blame you, front porch garden. It is dangerous. People were getting burnt out of their homes in the middle of a storm. And the fire department couldn't get there in time because they had to fight with the weather. So Another thing that people often forget about, a lot of people, their cell phone is going dead. These little things are like $15 to $30. You can actually get one that is solar generated. This one is USB, and so is this one. Little power packs. Now this one holds less than this, and I drop these things all the time. I have about 10 of them. Most of them are, some of them don't work because I dropped them and they crack. So check to make sure that these things work, and check to make sure that those little lights saying it's fully charged are charged, because it's hurricane season. It's hurricane and flood season. And what we gonna do? Go to our neighbor's house and make sure that, ask them, hey, can I charge up my stuff? A lot of people, some people were sitting in their cars, in their garage, first of all, for heat and to charge your cell phone. And guess what happened? Carbon monoxide. If you were going to have a propane heater, right, which I have, and they say that this one, Mr. Heater, the buddy heater, is safe for the inside. The one back here, this one, you put that tank outside. If the tank is over those little 1 gallon, I can bring the tanks in here. If it is over those little 1 gallon tanks, that tank needs to be outside. When you buy propane, you can't, when you have an empty propane can, when I go to the big box store and trade in, because I started buying my own propane tanks. But when you go there and you get one from the store, they don't want you to bring that empty container into their store, because the empty container is actually more dangerous than a full one. That gas is pressurized. So this is what you need. A carbon monoxide test. And it is, you just hit this and test it. See that? I hope it don't keep on going off. You hear that? Okay. Now how do I turn it off? Because it's... Stop! Okay. So test it to make sure it works. And look at this. This thing is popping out, because I've had this thing for a long time. I have 2 or 3 of them. Check to make sure that it's working, and check the back of it, if you can, to make sure that those batteries don't look, there's some of them don't look right in here. Look at this. I had to change these batteries out, because these are the batteries that it came with. It says Kitty on it, and this is a Kitty thing. So when you buy it, yeah, they're going to give you the batteries, but shoot, these batteries don't look right. I'm glad I looked in here, because I need to change that out. So I'm going to leave this like this. It's about checking your stuff. Batteries are getting ready to go bad, even though it's saying it's okay. Go ahead and look at it and see if one of them jokers ain't corroded like mine are. So I'll take those out and replace them. Duval, what did you say? Front Porch Gardener says, I have a baby Jackery that can charge my cell phone and keep my small fan running. It's good, because, and Jackery, EcoFlow, who else? Blue Eddy, Anchor, they're the big brand names. And there are some smaller companies that I don't know of. Get a little even if it's a small one, they're having a sale right now. It's starting tomorrow, the 7th and the 8th, Amazon. These things used to cost a whole bunch of money. These little power banks, or this is an EcoFlow, and you could tell this thing has been through the mill. Get one. They're running $100, $200. This one I think is way less. I think it's under 200. But if you don't have it, get the smaller ones. Go ahead and get the little power banks, and so you can save up for that. Initially, those things are running like $400 for that little one that I just showed you, $400. Now, you get about 1,000, 2,000 watts for, I'd say, $300 to $400. The little ones right here, this one, is under 200. Might be about 100 right now. Let's see. David, what's up, everybody? David Corey with the crop. Listening from the Garden Jamaica. Okay, David Duval. I have hurricane supply box with my lantern, stove, lighters, batteries. Now I need to get the carbon monoxide reader. Also, check your stuff, cause stuff goes bad. Just like this, that can went bad. So do these batteries, cause this one is stuck. Look at this. Look at this, man. I'm glad I did this because this battery is on its way out. Ow. I'll get it out later. It's stuck in there. But that one right there don't look right. I'm replacing all of these batteries, these AA. Also, keep some battery supplies. Keep some AA, AAA, whatever you use. Keep that back up. The old-timey stuff is still good because you're going to need it for stuff like this. For your smoke detectors, it needs a battery backup, even if it's electricity. What if your electricity goes out? Get a backup with a battery backup. Let's see. Okay, so we talked about the carbon monoxide. Check your smoke detectors. Make sure those jokers are working because that's important, especially if you're using this. And check your water, check your food stores to make sure that nothing is bubbled up like that one can was. Things just go bad. That's just a part of life. Also, make sure all of your stuff is charged and the batteries are still good. So we talked about, let's talk about heat. This is a Mr. Heater, right? And this is one of the ones that you could pick up and go with. I keep a filter on the side. You see that? They say that you don't need it if you use the 1 gallon tanks because some propane, all propane ain't clean propane. Some propane is dirty. So I have the filters there so that this doesn't go bad. And this one, I have the 5 gallon, 10 gallon, 20 gallon, 30 gallon, 40 gallon. Anything over a 1 gallon tank, I just put that joker. I run a cord out the window and I got locks on my window so nobody can come up in here. If they do, the dogs will get them. If the dogs don't get them, I will. So I have a lock on the window, but I run this cord. This is what I attach outside. And you're going to have to buy this separate. It's pressurized, right? Goes through these cylinders. And this is a Mr. Heater also, but this one heats up. This is about, down here is about 1,200 square feet. It heats up the whole downstairs. This will heat it up too, but then I'll have to keep on every hour, every couple of hours, maybe 2 to 3 hours. I got to go and replace those little canisters. And I don't feel like doing that. I'd rather use this because those tanks outside, they last me about 2 to 3 days each. It's way less work than waking up. You can't even sleep with this because this thing is going to run. You're going to wake up cold. It'll run out after a while, depending. And it all depends on the size of the room. This is 1,200 square feet. But if I took the office over here and put some cloth or blankets or tarps over there and sectioned off a piece of the house, well, then it would take less energy for me to heat it up. So go to a smaller room. And believe it or not, we are heaters. The more people you have in a confined space, the hotter it's going to be in there. All right, so we talked about the Mr. Buddy heater and the Mr. Heater right here. That is just, there's other ones out there. These are just the ones that I use. How you doing, Tampa Creek at Homestead and More? I haven't heard from you in a while. So what else do I have? So these are I thought I didn't bring it here. These are the little 1 gallon propane canisters that I have right now. Right now at Wally World, you get 2 of them for $9.97, under $10, right? Or 4 of them for $20. If you wait, I say next month, you only gonna get 1, and it's gonna be about $8 to $9. I think it was $8.98 last year. So if you want to get your stuff, get it now before everybody realizes, before the panic sets in and they buy up all the 2 for $10. And these can be refilled. I'll do that on a short, because it's not hard to refill these things. But they're cheaper now than they are. As a matter of fact, Mr. Heater, this one, the price went up. It's over $200. So I went on eBay because I need another one for the other place. And I found one on eBay for under $200, shipping included. So if you want one of these and you live on a first floor where you can put a canister outside, because I don't know if you're even if you have a balcony, in your apartment, they may not want propane in their establishment, because then you have to go through the halls with the propane and it's a big old mess, and it's liability on the apartment. But if you have somewhere outside and you're on the first floor, or your house is on the first floor, this thing is the best thing since sliced bread. It saved me on my electricity, and right now propane is cheaper. I bought a whole bunch and I spent maybe $60, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta come back. They're like, oh yeah, man, it's super cheap right now. Don't be like me 2 years ago, standing out in the cold. I think it's either Christmas Eve day or the day before Christmas Eve day. I was standing out there freezing. You don't want that to happen to you. All right, so we talked about the Mr. Heater. We talked about the little propane canisters. We talked about light. And we talked about water. Now let's talk about something else. Blankets. This is a Stewart blanket. And these jokers, this particular brand, apparently everybody likes it. I heard about this one from a guy who lives the van life. And I am not affiliated with any of these companies. I'm just telling you what worked for me. It's a Stewart blanket, right? And I have several of these. Because my little dog ruined one. All right, and so I ain't gonna get into that. It's a USB. This is another reason why this USB doesn't run a lot of energy, by the way. This right here has a place for you to put this blanket, to do that. And then you press your little button. All of them are different. Usually they have something that lights that up, right? And this blanket warms up and will keep you warm. Now, this will conduct heat, right? Let me unplug this. See how it lights up with the little lights right there? Let me see if y'all can see it. See that? That means it's working. Pull it out and do this. I heard about this the first time, I think on Lead Farmer 73. And then I checked out this guy. I said, what is that? I've never heard of that, right? I checked out this guy who's a van lifer. This older gentleman with a big old beard and everything. He recommended this brand. So I got it. Something's wrong with this one. I gotta check to see if this thing works. So another kind of blanket is this. Now this thing look like it been through HELL because I have used it. This is a wool blanket. Right now they're running about, they're more money than they used to be. Y'all know that everything has went up. And this is Arcturus. It doesn't matter as long as they're a wool blanket. But there's two of them. I think Ethos, ECTOS, and Arcturus. Where's the label? Are the two that I buy, because I have bought some wool blankets and they look like they were crap. I'll tell you the truth, they were crap. But these right here, and all wool blankets are gonna pill on you. See that? This will not keep you warm. Well, it will. This will keep the warmth in. This, a wool blanket. Now you can get some that are 80-20, which is 80% wool, 20% synthetic, and there's different percentages. I don't remember what kind this one is. This one is 80% wool, yep, 20% synthetic. It's not 100% wool because wool shrinks, so it's actually a good thing. But this doesn't conduct heat, but it keeps heat in. Another thing that people don't know about wool blankets is that if a fire breaks out, throw this crap over you and run out. it doesn't burn as easy, and it'll keep you from getting scorched. Not that you're gonna need it, because we're not gonna use them candles unless we have to, right? So I use this in the wintertime. First of all, I put this on, and then I put this on top if I have to. I don't like waking up cold. And for the men in the chat, you and your wife have different temperatures. I know you men run a little bit warmer than we are, unless, y'all are in the pause like I was a couple of years ago. Menopause will throw you off, girl. Woo! You'll be hot and everybody else will be freezing. But in your car, put this on. So y'all don't be fighting over how cold it is in the car. If you put this blanket, plug it into the cigarette lighter, right? Cigarette holder, right? And put this joker on your lap or sit on it. I'll put it over my lap. And this is a good car blanket. This one is a very good car blanket. Now, there's other blankets that you can buy. I buy Mexican blankets because they're inexpensive on Walmart. And somehow they keep you warm. It's weird. I don't know what they're made of, some kind of magic material. But, man, you could use a Mexican blanket. I'm going to get one. I didn't bring one over here. You could use that in the summer and the winter. And it keeps whatever temperature you're at, it's going to keep you at that temperature. It's just almost as good as the wool blanket. Let me get one, because they're very colorful and most people don't like them. Y'all know I'm in Texas, right? This is a Mexican blanket. And all I did on Amazon, because I got tired here in Austin area, the further you are from the border, the more money they're going to charge you for one of these things. And the reason why this is this color is because when you buy them on Amazon store, I bought them on Amazon. I bought a whole bunch of them. It's expensive here in Austin, and you don't get to choose a color on Amazon. You just say how many you want, and they send you a whole box of them. if you're like me, because I was like, I am not gonna pay $30 to $40 for this, and they're huge. Let me back up. You get them smaller, you get them huge. They're bigger than me. It's about 6-7 feet of blanket. See that? It's just as big as that. And that's a twin size. It's a twin size wool blanket. I didn't get a big one because everybody gonna want their own, tell you the truth. That thing is just as good. I'm trying to see what it's made of. It's just as good as, and it feels like a rug, tell you the truth. It's just as good as that. It said made in Mexico, 100% reclaimed fiber, machine or hand wash. See, it doesn't tell you what it is. Mystery, but it works. It's colorful. I'm sorry, y'all. Call came in. I don't know who that was, but they got put on hold. So the wool blanket and that blanket will keep you warm. Now, what did I forget about? I put everything close to me so I wouldn't forget anything. This, Jesus Christ, this is a jerry can. That's what I use to store water, because this is not going to happen to me again. I'm going to buy these, but these are temporary. That is drinking water. This one right here is for drinking water. I also have water outside, which are water barrels, but you can't drink from that either. That is coming for the animals, because I ain't drinking that. Animals can just get away with that. Even dogs. My dogs go out to that property out in the woods, and they drink some foul stuff, and they still alive. Let me do that. So I buy jerry cans, and then I just went and purchased a 55-gallon drum, because these have went up. They're about $17 for a 5-gallon jerry can. Another thing, the reason why I buy the jerry can instead of the water bottles is because, first of all, those big old jugs, they're clear. If you get a clear jug like this, keep it in a dark area. This right here is opaque. Don't let the sun get to it. Just like y'all look at, sometimes you look at my chicken waters and they're full of algae and all that stuff. It's because of sun. So you get something where the sun can't penetrate, seal it up, and put it in a place where you don't really care about. I mean, that you ain't gonna mess with. Also check it to make sure it's not leaking. Oh gosh. Can you all hear me and see me? Okay. I'm frozen on my little end. Let me see. Okay. All right. I'm just making sure because it looked like I was frozen on my end. So I think I went over everything I went over. The main thing I wanted to make sure that everybody did was go ahead and check their stuff to see if it was still working and if it was safe. Even if I didn't cover it, go through your stuff. See how that thing is bent, and make sure it's still working and make sure it's safe. Okay. Yes, I can hear and see you. What type of water did you put in that blue jug? Filtered water. I have, my whole house is filtered, by the way. I did that a couple of months ago. My house is, I have a water softener and I have a whole house water filtration system. So all of my water is filtered. I got tired of getting those late notices of, contaminated water. Because by the time the water department sends out their notifications, most of the time, I ain't gonna say some of the time, you've already drank that joker. They'll say there's algae, or they'll give you boiled water notices, but by the time you get it, it's already too late. So I got a whole house filtered. It cost me, but I have a whole house filtration system, and out at the other property, I don't drink that water unless I put it through a filter. Because when I first started, and that is also water that I ran from another property about 10 years ago. I ran some, my neighbor who was about a half a mile up the road had a water meter, and I ran that water from his meter to my meter, to my house, and put a meter in down there in the woods. I don't have a well yet. And so I have, I'm just gonna call it city water. Even in the woods, if your neighbor has tapped in, it seems like, okay, when people have farms, some of them, if they're on a street, there's usually a water line there unless it's a private road. So my neighbor already had water, and apparently the neighbor before him. It's like a chain link thing. And once you go through and get the water, and somebody gets it, you can bring water in. That's besides the point. That water, when I ran that water, it was white. I don't know what mineral deposits are in there, but the water is white. So I have to filter it. It might be, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's some kind of mineral deposit, and I don't want to drink it. So I filter everything out there. That's another thing that I have a Berkey here. I bought my mother a zero water because that has the best ratings. I think the ratings are better than Berkey. So I think I have a zero water upstairs also. And zero water used to be super cheap, but now that everybody got all the hype, it went up just like everything else. So if you do get water that is questionable, go ahead and filter it. Anyway, I just wanted to go over everything because, man, if you don't check your stuff, you'll think you'll have something, and then you'll end up having to throw crap out because you don't want to get poisoned because it's not sealed correctly, or it's dented, or it's evaporated, and you're afraid. Because I'm afraid of this right here. I am afraid of this. This has never been opened. I didn't drink any of this water, and about 1/8 of it is gone. Where'd it go? How did it evaporate? It wasn't in the sun. Anyway, forget about it. And then this. Look at that. That battery is stuck. I'm going to have to find a way. And it looks brown. Yeah. Check your stuff. You think you'll have it together, and you won't. You won't. So, got to wash my hands. Does anybody have anything to add to what I was saying? Because we think that we got it together and we grow, because this is turnips I grew, right? We think we got our stuff together because we grew our okra and we grew our turnips, and we took some meat that we had some leftovers, because sometimes I can my leftovers because I have too much. And you think you got it all together, and then you go to open the freaking jar and it's no good when you need it most. Unless you have a million of them, and I don't. I just have enough for this area for us, including my dogs. So anyway, I didn't want to ramble on. Check your stuff. Keep your batteries all charged up. Check your battery pack. Check your water. Check your food to make sure it ain't gone bad on you. Make sure you got your blankets, and stay safe. I froze again on here, but I think I'm okay. Let me see. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank everybody for being with me. I don't want to ramble on with you guys, but I just want to remind you that bad weather is coming, and time waits for nobody, and things happen. I'm not going to say you're going to be prepared for anything, but don't think that you're prepared when you're not, like I did in some cases. In a lot of cases. I'm glad I did this. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank everybody for being with me. Remember to hit that like button. I'll wait. And to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because this is not what I do primarily. Usually I'm just in the garden. I'm putting up fence for my goats and my sheep. That's the recent thing. I unveiled that thing. Because it's not as hard as people make it out to be. It's not as easy as people make it out to be, because sometimes I don't want to go out there and feed them goats and them sheep. I don't feel like it, but I have to. I'm giving you all time to like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead and get your stuff ready, because if you don't, you're going to be surprised, and not in a good way. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank everybody for being with me. I hope you all learned something, because I certainly did. And I will see you guys on the next one, all right? Bye.